I am with Ampareen Lyngdoh. She is one more time contesting for the Meghalaya elections. Ampareen, congratulations one more time. You are again part of the, you are in the fray one more time.
Yes.
So already MLA,
Yes.
3 times already.
4 elections.
4 times, yes. And a former minister as well.
Yeah.
So what is going to be your strategy this time round?
I will be, I will be involving the grassroots and surrendering my politics into their hands. This time around, my constituents are taking care of my elections.
Okay.
I've handed the entire election procedures to them.
Right.
So you have small groups everywhere in the constituency who are actually managing the show. I'm just their candidate. I'm completing my door-to-door, going house to house, taking blessings from individuals. But my entire election procedure is in the hands of the people. We have small groups of youth, small groups of ladies, men, all doing their own thing. Even my house has been surrendered to them. They're taking care of my house as well. So this is the kind of, camaradereship that you have after so many years of being in office.
Right. In fact, viewers, right behind us is Ampareen Lyngdoh's residence. I believe, in fact, she belongs to one of the most popular political families of Meghalaya. Her father, her brother, everybody have been part of the Meghalaya politics. In fact, really very well-known names at that. And now, what will be interesting this time around is also the fact that it is not just Ampareen, it's her sister Jasmine, who is also one of the candidates. So very interesting thing. Father, brother, now 2 sisters together.
See, our family, will never be tagged with the dynastic politics tag, because each of us have generated a support at our own levels. For example, my father passed away 25 years ago. My brother, of course, just passed away. So we are now building this from different political parties. When I first started my politics, it was from another political party. It was never from the same party where my father contested. So we've tested this, the electorate field at our own capacities. Jasmine, poor thing, she's like now being requested to contest from 𝗏𝗏𝗏 because of the shift of party of the legislator of 𝗏𝗏𝗏 to the TMC. Suddenly there's this big vacuum that people are feeling. So they came back to our family and they said, please, can one of you again sacrifice for the constituency? So that is why this whole thing is actually evolving this way. It was nothing that we have planned, nothing that we had, taken advantage of, but it's something that has just naturally happened.
Right. So, as far as Jasmine is concerned, her candidature, there are 2 political heavyweights up against her. She's pitted against somebody like 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏 as well as 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏𝗏, 2 political heavyweights. So how do you, as a veteran politician, look at this, equation?
Jasmine will work simple. Jasmine will work door to door. Jasmine will communicate individually with constituents. Jasmine is no heavyweight. Neither am I a heavyweight. We're just people. We are the people. So I do not look at these big weight concepts, because at the end of the day, when there is a calling by the public to contest, we just feel that maybe they really want us to be there. So we will give it a fair shot. We will try our best. She is a very hard-working lady. She's got brilliant ideas. She's young. She's dynamic. She's very committed to her work. She has always been in the social field. She's a clinical psychologist. She has helped thousands of families with mental disorders and disability. She's a person who's anyways in touch with the real issues of the community. So I have a feeling that Jasmine may pan out to be the correct choice in this election.
Okay. So, first Congress, now NPP, as far as you're concerned, there has been, and not just you, we've seen a lot of party hopping this time round as far as the Meghalaya elections is concerned. So somewhere it's giving us a feeling that there's nothing called ideology any longer. What is happening, from a voter's point of view also? Do you think they are getting the right signals?
See, very, very unfortunate. Now this is the politics, the dynamics of modern politics, where candidature is not based on a belonging. Because political parties are disintegrating in the state of Meghalaya. Suddenly there is this new wave of new political leaderships. Suddenly the old school recedes into the background. People like us just have to go where we can get the maximum for our constituencies. It's not just about lack of ideology. It's about survival. Now I need to survive for the sake of my people. Now what do I do? So therefore you see this huge movement of candidates from here to there to here. Everybody is trying to pitch in and anchor in with a party that is likely to be able to take them through. Because it's not just about us. It's about that partnership that we see in a political party. Say for example, why did I go to the NPP? I am seeing before my eyes that the NPP is gaining a lot of ground, with or without my permission.
Okay, so what about the anti-incumbency factor? And also, there's a lot of noise against NPP, a lot of allegations of corruption, all of that. You are very well aware of the talk that's going around.
See, every political party has its minuses and pluses. Now, there will be heartburn about certain issues, but there will also be appreciation for other issues. So at the end of the day, these allegations need to be substantiated. Election is the period of allegation and counter-allegation. So I, for one, know that if there are any wrongs done by the NPP, it's not just the NPP that is responsible for that wrong. They were in a coalition partnership with practically everybody else except for the erstwhile Congress. Now, if NPP has been alleged to be corrupt, then I think all partners are equally responsible for that corruption. Because you could see that that happened with everyone around. Now, what happened, what didn't happen, if you do not substantiate your allegations, then they become mere political arguments and debates. To me, at this point of time, I have nowhere to go. I've been booted out of my party. Ticket has been given to someone else. I need to now rally for a new partnership. And if I see that the NPP will give me and provide me that stability and that partnership that I need to take my constituency forward, so be it. I go. There's nothing much you can do about it.
Yes. And finally, as a Congress veteran, what are the prospects you think as far as the grand old party is concerned?
Unfortunately, the Congress of the past, that glorious Indira Gandhi, Nehru ji, Rajiv Gandhi kind of presence seems to have just faded away. Now, why that has happened, I think everybody saw the entire journey of the Congress to what it is today. I wish not to, mudsling my former colleagues in this grand old party. But this time around, Meghalaya will suffer losses. The Congress Meghalaya will suffer losses because of this dispensation which has suddenly been assigned with the responsibility of actually the main cause for the debacle of the Congress is because of them. They were not able to hold their flock together. They were not able to keep the fold together. And if that is that, then I think people will now evaluate the leadership of the current dispensation in the Congress. Likely, to my knowledge, they will face a huge defeat. Because in 18, we were 21 of us. That was vibrant, vibrant. Prior to 23 elections and polls, we are 0. 21 to 0 is a huge, quick, dissolving.
So as far as NPP is concerned, there's a lot of course, BJP also leveling accusations about lack of development. Of course, corruption allegations are there. There's also kind of anti-incumbency factor. What, according to you, as a veteran politician of the state of Meghalaya, what's your view? How do you look at these elections and the prospect of NPP?
Let me tell you one thing. The BJP is part and parcel of that allegation. You do not isolate yourself when you're in trouble and being evaluated, because you were all together at that point of time. So I think all of them will have to equally share that responsibility. Fortunately for people like us who were in the opposition, we were bystanders. We were people who were heralding these lapses, omissions and commissions. But BJP also will have to work harder in the state of Meghalaya to convince the people of the state of Meghalaya on so many issues. The first on the top of that list is the fact that there is this huge communal tag, that fear that the BJP will disallow, freedom of religion, choice of religion. There is this huge fear that, oh my gosh, there is this uniform civil code which is hanging over our heads, which will, which will just axe our constitutional existence. We are a state which is protected by the 6th schedule. Now, how will it pan out? Now, we are all afraid. We have very indigenous, unique conventions, practices. We have very unique culture. We have very unique laws which are unique only to the state of Meghalaya, in the interest for the people of the state of Meghalaya. So the BJP will have to face the same, confusion, because we are afraid. People are still not yet convinced that everything will be all right. So the likely party that will be followed, keeping in mind the popularity of the BJP everywhere else in this country, then we will have to go and look for the next best party to support, which is the NPP, which is again the #1 party in the state because of its ideology again. You see, the ideology of the NPP is very close to the ideology of the Congress, which means that it is a true offshoot of the Congress, like father, like son. So this is the kind of assurance, this is the kind of security that you're giving the people of the state of Meghalaya. My hunch, NPP is the only pan-Meghalaya party as compared to the other parties which are locally present. And you'll see that the 𝗗𝗏 Hills region particularly is very consolidated. Every election, when you look at the results, there are just 2 parties in the 𝗗𝗏 Hills region, 2 parties in the Janji Hills region. It is only in the Khasi region that you have this confusion. So many parties, huge packages, people voting according to their wishes and their associations with candidates. Not really the party, but the association with candidates.
So you think TMC is going to play some kind of spoil sport this time? What's your take on TMC?
The people of the state still have not accepted the BJP. Very high probability that they will also reject the TMC, which anyways is not only just a recent entrant into the state of Meghalaya, but it entered into the state of Meghalaya through a very proxy manner.
Okay.
There was a poaching of MLAs, and then they consolidated on this party, which they call the AITC or the TMC, we're not sure. Either ways, it doesn't really matter. People of the state of Meghalaya are a little suspicious of these kinds of parties which come from the outside. You've seen the performance of the BJP. You've seen that people cannot trust easily. So my hunch, my personal hunch, not that it is a general observation, the TMC again is a new party. What will it do in the state of Meghalaya is something that everybody is asking. So
Okay, yeah.
this is my hunch.
Finally, who's going to be the main opponent for NPP this time round?
Likely it will be the regional forces. Likely, my hunch. In the 𝗂𝗂 𝗂𝗏𝗃 Hills, there will be a keen contest between the UDP and the NPP, likely. And in the Garo regions, I think the mixed bag will be there, because you also have veteran established MDCs who are representing the BJP. How much will they be able to deliver is a question to be seen.
Yeah.
And the TMC being a very new party, remember that Garo Hills region has never voted for BJP. No MLA who is BJP from the Garo Hills region. After its presence in the state since 2013, more or less,
Is it likely to change this time round?
I do not see any strong footing. But I don't live in Garo Hills. I'm a person from another part of the state. I am just presuming from reports that I am receiving.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Garo Hills region is a region which is very wary of new political parties.
Okay.
How much will they actually consolidate on a new party is yet to be seen.
In case NPP needs an ally after the results are out, who is that going to be?
I am not in authority to speak about that.
Okay.
But I think it will be a conglomeration of convenience.
All right.
Convenience will play a huge role. What is the shortfall of numbers? Is it a big shortfall? Is it a small marginal
expecting
shortfall?
one?
Again, NPP candidates are all very strong across the state. And it's a question of candidates giving it their best shot. So now it depends which candidate will run as fast as they can to the finishing line.
Okay.
It's that kind of a situation. I do not perceive that the Garo Hills region also will go very wrong. They seem to have consolidated and secure. They seem to have been working hard to receive that secure footing.
Right.
To my knowledge. But like I said, we are relying on reports that we receive. But if you ask about the 𝗂𝗂 Hills region, NPP is doing quite well. NPP is doing quite well. Candidates are pretty much in the race.
Yeah. All right. Of course, there's a lot I would want to talk to you about. Like there are a couple of new entrants in the game this time around. There is 𝗂𝗏 that has come in. Activists entering the political sphere. How do you look at this entire change of political scene? Just few days to go for voting to take place.
See, it's very good that activists come into the system, because it's not correct in a democracy to try and dictate to a government from the outside. It's good that they are actually becoming candidates so that they may taste.
Okay.
They can come and test the waters and see how difficult it is to win an election. You can dictate from a road, from a street corner, but it's a good thing you are also coming into politics. It's good that you are also trying to garner support politically,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it is the politicians that should actually decide on policies for the state of Meghalaya, not people roaming the street and demanding for this and that. So I'm happy. I'm happy that this has happened.
Right. And before I let you go, one last question. Traffic situation in Shillong continues to be pain. It's really one of the biggest pain points, I would say. What about all of these, real issues on the ground as far as NPP is concerned?
Let us be very clear. Land in the state of Meghalaya belongs to the people. If I do not wish to part off with my land to give you a big road, you can do nothing about it.
Right.
Unlike in other states where the government is the owner of land, number one. Number two, Old Delhi will always be Old Delhi.
Yeah, but
New
development
Delhi-
has happened in Old Delhi.
Look, development-
Chandni Chowk and all,
development-
revamped.
Development happened after you brought a New Delhi.
Yeah.
So do not be too harsh. Do not be too harsh on the traffic congestion in the city of Shillong. It is there in the city of Tura. It is there in the city of Nongstoin. It is there in every city.
Okay.
It is an indicator that
I'm
we are
getting
all
signals-
growing.
I'm getting signals from your,
It's okay.
workers.
It's okay. Yeah. So we need now to remember one thing, that every old city will see this kind of a transition. It is not unique only for the state of Meghalaya. Whether or not Meghalaya and the government of Meghalaya will be able to decongest this traffic is $1 million question. But in our state, the biggest question is, will the people part off with their land? Will we not be lost and entangled in unnecessary land compensation matters, which are again a delay for so many other projects across the state? The only way out is to shift the capital of Shillong to the new Shillong town. Once that transition has happened, then likely we can begin to attend, because huge spaces will now be left free. And you'll be able to therefore widen your roads, increase parking spaces, encourage public to allow their children to go by school buses. Parents are still scared to send their kids by school buses. You don't have pool car concepts in Meghalaya. So these are few things which we have to do.
As NPP legislator, what is going to be your top 5, priorities? What do you think still are the pain points as far as Shillong is concerned?
Number one, we need to improve on water, reach of water across Shillong and its neighboring areas. We still see a lot of water crisis issues here. Number two, yes, we need to improve our drainage systems, because over the last few years we've seen consistent increasing floods because of the increase of homes around the city. Number three, for the city of Shillong, sense of security. Thefts, drugs, substance abuse, these are top on the list. We have to make sure that we have all these addressed quickly, provide free rehab facilities to underprivileged families. We have the MHIS card, which still does not include that. So these are all doable things. The other thing is school fees. Private institutions prepare a slab so that even the most underprivileged of families with brilliant kids can access those institutions. That is something we have to see what we need to do to put a tab on ensuring that everybody contributes, not just profit from these kinds of institutions. Hospital bills in the city of Shillong and other cities, these are issues which need to be attended. They're all doable, but we just need good thinking people in a government.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank
And
you.
best wishes. You're off to J In fact,
Yes.
Ampareen spared few minutes to speak to us, to speak to Northeast Live. She's on way for her door-to-door campaigning that she's going to do throughout the day today in J. And we are going to get back to her. We are going to join her in one of those campaign trails. And of course, we will bring both the sisters together, Ampareen and Jasmine together, the Lyngdoh sisters. We will catch them during their campaign trail. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And best wishes
Thank you.
to both of you. Thank you.